Hi guys, I've got something different to show you today. I have got a spell that I want to do, but it calls for black salt, also known as witch's salt, and I don't have any in my little apothecary. So I know that you can buy it from pagan and occult shops, but you can also make your own. I've seen a few recipes online that I have been looking at, and I thought I'm going to try and make it myself. So here's a list of everything that you will need. First on the list is sea salt. And then black pepper. I've just got some black peppercorns in a grinder already. And then you will need some charcoal. I am using a bit of a charcoal disc, and you can see how black that is already. But you could use different types of charcoal. You could use activated charcoal powder or a charcoal disc like I'm using. Or instead you could supplement that for ash from a fire pit, a regular fire, or ash that is left over from a spell that you've cast. But I would say a word of warning: if you're going to use ash from a spell that you've done, I would think about what the spell was used for, because it will affect the outcome of the black salt that you're making. So if you want to think about the purpose of the black salt, what you're going to use it for, if you've cast a spell that is like a hex or a curse and you use the ashes left over from that, think about what you're going to use that black salt for. If you're going to use that black salt with the curse ash in it for a love spell, it's not going to have the same effect, is it really? So I would think about that. Obviously I have got some matches and then my nice little mortar and pestle, which we're going to grind all the ingredients in. Then a fireproof dish. I'm using my little cauldron that came with my altar starter kit a couple of years ago. Finally, you'll need some incense, and I've got incense cones because I think they will work well with this. So the first thing we are going to do is take our little mortar and pestle. Place it down here. Going to add the charcoal and the pepper. And now the peppercorns don't come out okay, so it's kind of already grinding it in there. Getting it everywhere. I'm going to do 3 turns of the pepper mill. 1, 2, 3. I'm just thinking about all the different things, like grinding that 9 times clockwise, but then maybe that's just me. I guess you don't have to do that, but that's just something that I want to do. So that is the pepper and the charcoal, and grind that into a fine powder. So I think that's quite a fine powder. And then we will add in some sea salt, but the recipe says add in the sea salt slowly, making sure not to add so much that the colour becomes more grey than black. So let's do a pinch like that and see what that comes out like. Probably going to do 3 little handfuls. And then 1 more. You can see it's becoming lighter. Go 1 more. Little pinch. There we go, I think that's good. So now that the charcoal, the pepper and the salt is finally mixed, it is time to transfer it into the fireproof container, which I have got here. And now it is time to burn the incense. One of the things I wanted to talk about the incense was, again, to think about correspondences. The incense that you're burning, I feel like it should have some correspondence to what you're going to use the black salt for. For example, say if you're going to use this black salt in something to do with love, you could burn rose or hibiscus flowers, jasmine, or strawberry incense. Or if you want to strengthen psychic powers, you could burn cedar or cinnamon or citron incense. But in this case, I am going to burn my incense that I've got in here, and cones are supposed to work well like this, and it smells delicious. And this is the incense I've chosen, rose geranium. And I've chosen rose geranium because it's burned for courage and protection. So I'm just gonna set that in there. I don't know if you can see that, it's quite dark in there, but I'm just gonna set that in the middle. And I've also got a sandalwood incense cone, which is burned to exorcise demons and evil ghosts, conjure beneficial spirits and promote spiritual awareness. It is also used by many witches for protection, astral protection, healing rituals and wish magic. And I think the combination of these two incense cones is exactly what I need. But the next step is just to go ahead and light it. So now that the incense cones have stopped burning, I'm going to take my little pestle and grind that into. I've ground that and it is done. Now it's just, there you go. There is your black salt.